Alright, what's up Dominators? Welcome back to the ShiHai's channel, and today I present to you my Tachikaze deck recipe. So for one reason, I'm not uploading the Pale Moon deck recipe today as you guys are debated y'all. Basically, I kinda forgot to take the deck from my friend because obviously I don't play Pale Moon. I was supposed to do a commentary with him about it, but in the end I had to rush off for personal reasons, so I didn't really get to record. I promise we'll get it back up the video by next week. And if you're wondering why the camera is kind of shaky and the voice quality not say very good, I mean, well, most of my videos the voice quality is pretty shit, but basically I forgot to bring back my recording stand back from the shop. Same time with my microphone, I just left it at the shop, totally forgot about it. And then here I am recording this deck recipe video with just me holding my phone, so sometimes it might be a little bit shaky, and yeah, you guys get the picture. But at least I get more coordination with me holding my camera, I guess. Yeah, my phone camera. But basically, yes, this is the new Tachikaze just released this Wednesday, V-EB09. So we're gonna get through the deck's three things as usual, full layout of the deck, and then after that we're gonna go through the cards, the skills, and then maybe a little bit more combos here and there. So Tachikaze, I've benched this clan ever since around BTO 5 or BTO 4 when BTO 4 came out. So it hasn't received a support over a year already, and this support actually helped Tachikaze boost up their offenses a lot, but decrease the defenses depending on which cards you run. So let's just get right into it. So obviously, for obvious reasons, this is XL clan. You can see my two very nice XL markers right there. Ideally, you still want to go XL2 in Tachikaze because you have not much hand size according to the deck that I'm actually running. But you guys can give your comments and opinions below on which one's the better deck or which cards you do run that I do not run, and tell me why you run them. Alright, so first off, we have the new VR right here. So let's just get right into it. Thundering Sword Dragon Anger Blader. The skill is put a rearguard face down as an equip glitch for another rearguard, and then choose one opponent's rearguard to retire it. So it's a cost right here, as you can see. Basically what this allows you is allows you to gauge any rearguard for the cost of one card in your hand, and then allows you to retire one of your opponent's rearguards as well. So lighting here is not really good, but yeah, let's focus a little bit. But most people play it for the second skill, which is pretty fucking strong. So Vanguard Circle, when it attacks, you may count as one stand 3 of your rearguards with 3 or more equip gauge each, and then all your front row units gain 5k at the end of turn. So this, as I said before, is why you actually run this card and why is it so strong. With tied in well with the grade 2, which we'll get to later. But basically, as I give XL, and this is the new VR, this skill doesn't require your opponent to be a grade 3, so it's not like, you know, Gansalot or Mordred Phantom. That's why it's so good. And at the same time, with you having a lot of field control by, you know, just equipping one gauge from your hand to from your rearguard circle to one of the other rearguards, and getting to choose which rearguard to retire on your opponent's field is pretty strong. So 4 off is a must, obviously. Moving on with the new rare, as said before, no, I didn't really say this before, but basically we do not run Giga Rex or Death Rex anymore because the deck doesn't really require. You can tag 1 or 2 copies in if you really want of Giga Rex, but I feel that it's pretty redundant in the deck because most of the all of Giga Rex's skill works on Vanguard Circle, and ideally you want to write this Anger Blader on your first write and just stick with it all the way. If you can rewrite, if you have multiple copies, you can rewrite it up to the next few turns, but most likely you want to stick onto Anger Blader at all times. You write into this grade 3, yes, it still has imaginary gift XL, but it is pretty bad. Basically, Fierce Like Dragon, Optical Serato. The skill is pretty simple. On place, or when you attack the Vanguard, you may put the top card of your attack face down as a equip gauge for one of your rearguards. So we ideally, just to play this because of the rearguard skill, you ideally want to not be on this Vanguard at all. So it acts as a free gauge when placed and when attacked. Moving on to the OP grade 2, this is what made the deck so bloody strong, but not against Narukami, of course. Basically, we're going to get through the skill. This is called Super Coranto. I'm just going to call it, yeah, Croca Canto, something. Clear out Dragon, Super Crocanto, yes. Basically, this skill is what made Tachikaze broken as fuck. Basically, as almost the same skill as the promo, the WGP promo that Japanese got. The skill is this unit gains 5k for each of this unit's gauge, and it has 3 or more equipped gauges. It cannot be chosen by your opponent's card ability, so that's the second skill. That's why it cannot be retired by, let's just say, a Kagero Berserk Dragon, or like anything else that has a retire, or can be chosen by this by your opponent's card abilities. But it does not bypass Naru's Cho-O. That card is pretty strong, and obviously it doesn't bypass Gauntlet Buster Dragon, because Gauntlet Buster Dragon is you bind off your opponent's dragons in the front row. So it's pretty bad against the matchup with Narukami, but against other clans, this card is just bloody broken. And then we have the once button skill, obviously the first skill, which is when you attack the Vanguard, put a top card of your deck face down as a equipped gauge for this unit. So every turn, it just increases the gauge power by 5k, because obviously you attack it every turn. And it's a very good grade 2 turn, powered with this card which we'll get to later. As you're able to hit numbers and it's continuous during your turn and your opponent's turn, it gains 5k. So if you have 3 gauges on it, it's already a free 24k base unit. It's pretty broken, as your opponents are most likely unable to touch it because of its high base power, and at the same time cannot retire it due to its card effect if you got 3 or more gauges on it. Moving on, we got Turbo Smilodon. Yeah, Turbo Smilodon. Basically, almost the same, not almost, it's the exact same skill as this grade 3 right here. Basically, on place, you get to gauge 1 with your rear guards, and when you attack, it gauges 1 with your rear guards as well. But take note that you have to attack the Vanguard for both of their skills, so even though it misses, you still get to have the free gauge. Ideally, you want to combo these two on your grade 2 turn. So riding into this, then you gauge maybe 1 of your regards, which is this card. Later we'll get to it. And then after that, moving this all the gauges on this card to double Smilodon. Not double Smilodon, sorry. Whatever super Coranto shit. And then when it attacks, it gains 1 more gauge, so you can get that 3 free gauges already on it. And yeah, it's unable to be retired, and it's a free 24k base unit. Attacker and unit. Alright, moving on to the last grade 2 we run old Mega Rex. So yes, Mega Rex is still kind of good in this deck. This deck doesn't really require to use Counterblast that much, other than, you know, the VR and probably only this card right here. But you usually don't use this card's Counterblast. It still acts as a free retire 1, draw 1, and then if it's on Rearguard Circle, you may gauge 1 and it gains 5k until end of turn. Full skill, basically, when you attack the Vanguard, you retire another Vanguard, draw a card, and then if this unit is a Vanguard Circle, you may gauge it. You may counter and engage it, and this unit gets 5k for each gauge on itself. So you are able to gauge it to generate high numbers. At the same time, you are able to stand it if you have 3 or more gauges. So that's why the combo, usually you want either Turbo, Super Commando, and then you are on this Vanguard while your opponent still at grade 2, and then you Turbo these 2 up to try to OTK your opponent in 1 turn, which I have done quite a few times against some opponents. As long as you open your hand with at least 2 copies of it, and with Turbo Smilodon and this grade 3 right here, and all the other cards in this deck that are offering gauges, gauge, whatever, you basically win the game. Alright, moving on to the grade 1, we run this rare grade 1 in new set, which is called, let me think, Furious Signal Dragon Robayo, yeah, something like that. Okay, basically, when placed, you may soul pass 1, put a top card of your deck face down as equipped gauge for 1 of your guards, and that unit gains 5k until end of turn for each equipped gauge to your unit. What does this mean? Basically, if you have 3 gauges on Super Coranto, you call this, you gauge another one, it gives 4 gauge. 4 gauge, it plus 20k because it says plus 5k for each gauge on that, on the rear guard that you gauged. And Turbo, Super Coranto, own self skill says it gains 5k, so it's basically your times 2 of the power, so it actually gains 40k, so it's a 49k base until end of turn. And then after that, you restand using Anger Blader skill. It becomes like what, 54k, yeah, 49, 54k attacker, which is generating like just absurd numbers. So one of the reasons why you run 4 of this card is because it's bloody strong. Moving on to so-called the grade 1 Savage Raider. Basically the main of this deck, you run 3 copies. Rest this unit, you choose 1 with your guards, and you put the top card of that as it's not equipped gauge for that unit. or you move all equip gauge from one of your rear guards to it. So basically it allows you to move the gauge around. At the same time, it allows you to get that free gauge just by resting this unit. Typical combo I would like to do is to rest, then you either move or gauge. Then after that, use Angle Blader skill to actually put this rear guard as equip gauge for another rear guard, and then you retire one of your opponent's rear guard because of the skill. So it's a really good card for grade 1 where you ride. Let's just say if you're going first, you may ride up, and then you call this down, you tap it, and then you gauge itself. So it's really interesting to see the gauging power in this deck, because last time when we had no support, the gauging was a bit slow because you had to rely on Giga Rex to gauge every turn, 1 gauge, 1 gauge, 1 gauge. But now it's much more consistent and faster due to the new cards that received in support. Moving on, we got Sonic Nova, so a super old card in V-EB09. Pretty simple skill. When boost a rear guard, you may put the top card of that as equip gauge into the boosted unit face down. So this first skill is actually very mandatory. So when you boost, you must put the gauge. Second skill, Vanguard rear guard. When attack hits the Vanguard and it attacked or boosted, you retire one of your rear guards and you draw a card. So it's pretty simple, almost the same as what's this called, Mega Rex right here. But Mega Rex doesn't need to hit, obviously. Sonic Nova needs to hit, but doesn't really matter for the second skill. Just run it because when you boost the unit, it gives the gauge. Last but not least, we have for the grade 1s, Savage Trooper. Reasons why I run this is basically the skill is exactly almost the same as Super Coranto. This unit gains 5k for each equip gauge. So that's about it. But obviously it doesn't have the OP skill of it cannot be retired. It cannot be chosen by opponent's card effects when there's 3 or more gauges. But it allows you to open much more options in your grade 2 or grade 1 turn, especially when you're grade 3. Even if you don't have Super Coranto, you are able to combo it with this Savage Trooper instead. So that's one of the reasons why you run 4 of it, so you can get more options. Best way for you to end your opponent off is you either have 2 of this on the field, or like either one of them basically on the field, and then you stand 3 of rear guards with 3 more equip gauges on it, and your whole front row against 5k, so you generate that insane amount of high numbers on the field, which your opponent are most likely unable to guard, depending on whether they're grade 3 or grade 2. So for triggers, we can see here we have 6 draws, 6 crits, and 4 heals. Reasons why we don't run 8 crits, because you still need draws in the deck. This deck does not have that much draw power. That's one of the reasons why I actually run Mega Rex for the extra draw, and Sonic Nova's second skill is pretty much okay, I guess. This Angle Blader, your Vanguard takes cards from your hand, in which you are unable to generate because of cards that actually help to gauge your rear guards to become very, very big, fatty, beat meat shields, and beat sticks. So having the 6 draws is important because you are able to call the draw trigger, and Angle Blader skill states that you are able to gauge the draw trigger into one of rear guards and retire one of opponent's rear guards. So it's a free, so-called free retire. At the same time, you are able to power up your either Super Coranto or your Savage Trooper to hit higher numbers. And obviously the crits are there because if you check a crit, it's pretty good. I guess you can pump onto the higher powered units so that your opponent are most likely forced to guard, whether they are on 4 damage or they are 3 damage. You may check 2 crits and then you pump all to Super Coranto or Savage Trooper, and your opponent is forced to guard that attack. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Hopefully this video wasn't that shaky. I would say it's about 15 minutes plus minus. I didn't really do it really well because, as I said before, I'm a dumb. I forgot to bring back my recording devices, and then I'm forced to use my phone here to actually record the whole Tachikaze deck recipe. So sorry, I debated you guys. As I said before, I'm supposed to post a Pale Moon deck recipe today, but I didn't do it because I said before, I'm a dumb that forgot to take my friend's deck from him in order to do the video. But I make sure I'll post it next week. Next week, I've just completed my BMT, which means Basic Military Training, and I'll be moving on to the next phase, which is into where I move into a specialized unit, and I'll post more updates about that. We are almost at 1,500 subscribers, so thank you very much for subscribing. I might do a face review, you'll never know. I'm kind of prepared for it, but you guys can actually see on my Facebook page if you do follow my Facebook, because I basically post all the videos that I actually record down there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you Dominators in the next video. Peace.